Hey everyone, how's it going? I don't know who's here yet. I'll wait a few minutes to see if we're gonna get some more people on or who's gonna be here. And I just realized that I'm watching my own stream, so now my sound was coming up. Uh, so yesterday we got some of the printer working, as you can see here. If we go down in the wrong stream, there you go. We go back down. This is what we're trying to achieve. This was our first attempt once I recalibrated, not recalibrated, reinstalled all the software, see how the cube does not look like a cube at all. This is what we did yesterday. This is where we were at, right? So, lots of improvement. Quality is a bit better. Size is closer. So I think what we're going to do today is we're going to test it out again. What I did is I went ahead and already started the program. I installed it on the SD card itself. And if we look over here on the SD card, the only thing that I really did change was the steps per unit. So this is how the motor moves those belts for the X and Y axis, and then the Z. So it goes, if you notice here, it says X, Y, and Z. Then there's others in case there's more that would need to be part of the whole printer. I only have those three axes. I have two Z's, but they work as one, and these are the steps per millimeters. So that's how many turns it takes to move a millimeter. So 200 steps, so micro steps, where the motor just turns slightly like that. 200 of those is a millimeter. And same thing here, this is for the Z that's on the drive that makes the whole gantry, if you will, go up and down. And then after that, the extruder, 327 steps per millimeter, that's for the extruder where the filament goes in the printer and comes back out. So I already pre-programmed everything. It's in the printer, and as you can see at the bottom right here, I've added a camera there. And with that camera, you'll be able to watch the printer going throughout the stream. And we'll be able to talk to each other. You'll be able to keep an eye out for what's going on with the printer. We'll be able to discuss more about, like I was saying in the title of the stream, I want to talk about managing expectations today. This evening, rather. So, managing expectations, right? Very important. And we got to do that even for just the printer right now. Will it work perfectly the next time? No, I don't know this stuff that much. As programming, have you seen all the stuff there is? If you look on the right of the screen, you'll see that this whole thing on the side there, that's all code. And I'm going scrolling through it. Yeah, it's pretty simple once you read it, and it helps. But it's still a complicated thing. And now I can see that some people are joining. Hey, everybody, I hope everybody's doing good tonight. And yeah, I just want to reiterate what I'm trying to do here with this. Is 3D printing is a hobby of mine. I really enjoy doing this. And reprogramming the whole thing is a very, very complicated thing when you don't know what you're doing, really, right? So why not do it with a bunch of friends? COVID kind of screwed up everything with getting close to everybody. Now things are opening back up. People aren't sure still yet if we're going to other people's houses and things like that. But why not do something at home like this? That way I have the chat there. There is a delay. There's a few seconds of delay, so we need to adjust to that. Which, you know what? Fine. We can still hold this conversation. And talk about whatever. I want to hold conversations with people from across the world. And yes, I do still have... J'ai encore ta vieille 980. C'est mon gars qui s'en sert. And I'll be speaking both languages. This is not the 980. I'm using my laptop for the stream. My son is gaming on a 980. I now have a 1070 GTX. So I still game. But the evenings from 9 to 10, what I want to do from now on is stream with you guys. So that way we can talk. It's your choice. If you want to keep... si tu veux continuer à parler en français, je peux répondre en français. I can switch both languages like that. So I'm very inclusive in all the languages I want to speak, but I only know two, and by know two, I don't mean I know them. For everybody that knows me, you know I mess up languages, whichever one I talk, right? So too bad for that. But I'll do my best and try to accommodate for everyone that wants to join us. So whether it's people that I know or new people joining us on the stream that are here, I'm sorry for the quality of the microphone. I can't do much more than that until my actual microphone gets here, which means about end of next week, I'll have a brand new microphone coming in. You know, those fancy ones with the arms and the shield for so I don't spit in it and stuff like that. Hopefully I'll be have that set up by the end of next week, and we'll be able to have these conversations with better sound quality. For now, hopefully you'll stay and enjoy the stream with myself. Before I continue talking, let's try out this new camera that I set up for you guys. So if I switch to that now, and I'm going to start the print. So, go to print, and it's still going to be a calibration cube that we've done. And we're going to start it off, and we can't forget that since I didn't switch the settings for the temperature, because those come with the STL file, which is the file that is being used to print. So I'm going to set my temperature, let it go, and we do know that I had some adhesion issues. So for that, trust the old hairspray, put that on there, and we'll let it go for now. I'll leave it on that camera just so we can have fun and see it start going and things like that. But anybody want to talk about anything in the meantime? Yes, I'm still in good old Gagetown. I'm not posted anywhere yet. I'll switch back to this camera so you guys can see my face. I just got my new haircut. No, might as well pamper ourselves once in a while, right? I'm still on leave. This is not for leave. My son wanted well, no, he didn't want a haircut. He needed a haircut, so I decided to join him on that haircut. But yeah, one of the big things I wanted to talk about today was managing expectations for ourselves and for people around us. And by that, what I mean is that, you know, if you're always the person that says yes to everything, and sometimes you want to say no. It probably happened to some of you guys, right? I know I do it a lot, where I always say yes. I always want to help out. I always want to be the guy that's there for everybody, but it burns me out. Anybody else go through that once in a while where, you know, you should not, you should be thinking about yourself more than anything, and then, well, you got one of your friends that says, hey, can you come and help me out? And you feel bad for saying no, but you really should be saying no. There's nothing wrong with that. We need to be able to think about ourselves. And I've struggled with that for years, where when people ask me to do something for them or with them or something like that, I always want to say yes. And to me, it burned me out at one point. So think about that for a minute. See, when's the last time you did something that either burned yourself out or somebody expected something from you? And in the meantime, I'll just look through the channel, see who's here, and I'm going to say hi to Muin right there. Muin. Is that Paul? Yes, it is. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Glad you could join us tonight. Hopefully you can stay for an hour. I'd be glad to have you here with us for a while. But yeah, no, this is, it's about 3D printing, but it's also about our mental health. It is, to me, it's very important. For those that don't know, last year, I went on a mental health break that was the year 2020 when COVID started. The first few months were okay, like everybody was kind of off or on, where nobody knew what really was going on, and my mental health just went down the drain. I felt terrible. I couldn't sleep. I was irritable. See, like I was saying, I can't speak yet. I'm still doing this stream. But I was so frustrated by everything. And I tried to keep it to myself and go through it myself without seeking the help that was needed. And after a while, well, I had to take an actual mental health break, and that was one hell of a hard thing to do. And I realized that one of the things that I struggled with um, was managing expectations. Right? I always expect people to call me for whatever reason, and I don't want that to stop. But I expect something when I'm not sure what's going to happen. So, as a good example, is the stream tonight. I knew people are going to join us tonight, and I can see there's a few people here that some of the candidates I gave courses to. Of course, my stress level went way up there. You didn't even see how high my stress was. So, what did I do was, well, just manage my expectations. What's going to happen? People that are going to be here either know me and they're either gonna laugh at me? Well, too bad. They don't need to be here. If they laugh at me because I'm talking to the camera like this, or they're not gonna join me for long and it's not gonna be interesting to them and all those sorts of things. Well, too bad. I need to manage my expectations on not everybody's gonna want to join me here on this adventure that I'm starting, and that's okay. I don't need to have everything perfect from the start. Right? I need to be able to manage my expectations about everything, including this printer right now. If I look at it, and just for fun here, just look, I got to manage my expectations about everything. If we switch to the camera here on big screen, it's not printing at all. I'll move the camera so you can see a bit better underneath where it actually does print. The quality's going to go down for a second. But you can see everything is moving. So, this did not work. I messed up something. So, my expectation was not that it was going to work from the first time I pressed print. What do we have to do in situations like these? Well, try again. Some situations are that simple. You stop, give it a few seconds of rest, and try again. There's nothing wrong with trying again with certain things. You got to manage your expectations about everything that you do in life. It's not just about you need to be perfect at everything every single second, because you're going to burn yourself out. And I went through that. It was a terrible thing. And now what I'm doing is I'm managing not only my expectations about what's to come. I'm thinking about, Monday I got to go back to work. Yeah. What am I going to expect? I could get in my head and go into this big, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm nervous. What's going to be there for me for work? Am I going to be able to complete everything? Or I could just go, you know what? I got to go back to work. We got to work for a living. I got to get a few dollars in my bank account so I can buy food. I'm just going to go to work and not expect anything. If something good happens, great. If something bad happens, well, too bad. We'll deal with it. And if just a regular day happens, it's a regular day. So worrying about the future without knowing what's going to happen is useless. Right? Anybody have an example of something like that they'd like to share? You don't have to. I'm just going to reset that printer here in the meantime. But if somebody else wants to join in and say an experience that, when they thought that they overthought something, let's see, or somebody's that's going through something like that right now. Somebody wants to share something. Now's the time. We're going to look at the printer for a second, fix it up, clean up the nozzle, and start again. So I think I just found what my issue was with the printer. My hairspray bottle is almost empty, so of course with that being empty, nothing's getting out. It doesn't get the bed all nice and sticky. Let's try it again with a little bit of hairspray that did go on it this time, because I did touch it to be sure that there was something on there. So print, calibration cue, adjust the temperature once again. And 220. There you go. Alright, let's leave it for now and see where that goes. Well, I'm overthinking about going to my first parade tomorrow, just saying to myself, what if this, what if that? Well, that's a perfect example. I still remember my first parade, and that was when I did my basic training. Like, I was on parade. What if I mess up this? Everybody's going to see me, especially with all the staff stressing us out on that. And I know that's not the type of parade you're talking about. Maybe it is, actually. But those parades used to stress me right out, where I'd feel nauseous because I'd overthink it. What if I make a mistake? Oh my God, what am I going to do? Everybody's going to laugh at me. Here's the thing. A lot of people in the chat right now are either military or veterans. They can all say the same thing. Yeah, worst thing that happens is you make a mistake. Nobody's going to care that much. Try not to make mistakes, but we're all humans. Mistakes happen. Your life is not going to end. It's just people are going to be like, oh, you got to work on that, and that's it. It's done. Certain things can be solved that easy, and I know that's not what you're going to go in your mind there, where you're going to go, well, like, what do I need to expect? Am I going to get yelled at? Is there going to be some movement that I'm not sure? And then Sky Guy there just said the perfect thing there. Shit happens. Right? It does. Nothing is perfect in life. Everything can happen at any moment, so don't worry about those small things that could potentially happen. If you can plan ahead to prevent certain things, sure, go ahead. But don't put all your time and efforts into just thinking about, oh, I need to plan for every little thing. That's not going to work out for you. I know, at least for me, that's what I needed to do, was refocus. And we talked about this a few days ago, where combat breathing, right? And I'll remind everybody about combat breathing, or tactical breathing, or however you want to call it. And let's do this exercise, and I'll go back to the comments after that to talk to a few more people and keep chatting, talk between each other, help each other out, stuff like that. If you feel the need to do it or you want to, I'm trying to get a community going here. But before we do that, combat breathing, all right? It's the 3-3-3 rule. 3 seconds in, 3 seconds hold, 3 seconds out, and in through your nose, hold, out through your mouth. It's all about the energies, all right? And when you do that, think about positive energies going through your nose. Let it feel it through your whole body, all the way to your feet. So 3 seconds in, let's do it. Hold for 3. Exhale for 3. And just do that a few times. I know that's something that I have to do once in a while. And I have those severe anxiety attacks where I just go and panic for absolutely no reasons at all. I was doing the laundry just down here the other day, and I had this huge pain in my stomach, and everything hurt, and I just didn't know what was going on. I panicked, like, oh, am I getting that old and having a heart attack or something? And I had to actually not train myself, sorry, I was reading a comment at the same time, but I had to tell myself, okay, calm down, breathe, tactical breathing, start with that, and then start thinking about what's going on, why am I feeling this way, what could be causing it, am I in pain? I don't have any pain, my body's fine. Okay, so what's going on in my head? Well, in my head, what am I thinking about? Oh, well, I'm thinking about, oh, this is going to happen, that has to be done, this has to be done, that has to be done. All right, now you know what stresses you out. Maybe if you prioritize these things, what needs to be done first? What is the most important? What can you put aside if you have to? And after doing that, while doing the combat breathing, so 3-3-3, and just thinking about, okay, I need to do this first. This is extremely important. I can't forget about it. And I know my memory is not perfect, so what can I do about that? Well, I can write it down. See, I have an imperfect memory. I am a human being, so I make mistakes, and I know that I forget things. So I can work with that. Now that I know this information, I can work with those things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down a list. And I hate writing lists. That's why I put stuff I can write on everywhere. I can write on my desk here if I want to. I can write on boards upstairs. I have a board behind me so I can write stuff. So that way, if anything ever comes up that's important that I see on the stream, I can just take a pen, write it down. Right? I have pens on me everywhere. There's one here. There's another one there. If I can free it, see? I got pens and pencils everywhere just because I know that's how my brain works. I have somebody here. How to train your brain to shut up? Like breathing does help to an extent. The brain still keeps going. Yes, it does completely. But like I was saying, I had to work on that myself as well, where combat breathing was my first go-to. Then I tried grounding myself. So feel your feet. Touch a wall, touch something flat, touch something with these two angles. Really? Horizontal, vertical, except those in reverse. Yeah, I made a mistake. Happens. Look around you. Look at things you can recognize. Sounds, or listen to things you can recognize. Either sounds or smells, maybe. Aromatherapy. We talked about that. That was yesterday, by the way, for those that weren't there. And look around you. Okay, I can see the color blue. I can see my sword. I can see this. I can see that. I'm safe. All right. Now what's going on in my head? Sometimes you can't do that because I still remember on parade, like you're standing at attention, you're not moving at all, and you start having this panic attack. What do you do then? You can't move. Well, we all have these tricks of little tiny movements that sometimes do show, but you try not to make them show, and you think in your head, what can I do here? Well, nothing really physically, but my brain can work. Like you said, your brain keeps moving. It keeps going and doesn't stop. Well, make it work for you. You decide what goes on in there. It's all up to you, right? It doesn't feel like that sometimes, but with practice, it takes practice to do all these things. It's not going to be instant, and that's one of the reasons why I want to have these discussions. Not only for my candidates that went through my courses, but for family, for friends, and for myself. I need to remind myself of these things all the time. And I was saying earlier, I was extremely nervous about tonight. Why? I'm a new streamer. I don't know if everything looks good, if everything sounds good. Will people accept the way that I'm talking to them? Will this go right? Will this go wrong? Will the printer actually work? And apparently it doesn't want to work tonight. See, if we go back, so it is not going the way I want at all tonight. But at the end of the day, did I get my message out? That was extremely important. I think I did, or that I'm doing it right now. Right? So think about stuff like that. UNRD, one day I was in culinary class and I was worried about the lab that I had to do that was a week ahead of my teachers, and my teachers told me not to. Well, I'm not sure what you mean by, okay, so your teacher told you to basically relax and don't worry about it type of idea. You have this lab coming up and you were worried about it, and your teacher pretty much said, don't worry about it. That's one way of doing it. Somebody tells you not to worry, you're done. The worry's gone. If that works for you, good. I know that doesn't work for me at all. That's pretty much the same as telling somebody that has a broken arm, well, don't have a broken arm, man. Like, why is it broken? That doesn't help for everybody. And I know for a broken arm, somebody telling you that you don't have a broken arm doesn't really help, right? So there's many different things that work for a lot of different people. All of our brains work differently, and we got to just accept that, right? Where, for me, I need to talk to myself a lot, and that's a constant thing. It's on the daily. I will talk to myself about everything that's going on, whether it's okay, what do I need to do tomorrow? So now I'm thinking about this right now, just as an example. All right, tomorrow, what do I need to do? Well, I know that I need to get the aquarium clean. I need to make sure that my dog has her treats. Well, you know what? Those two things are not really important. Like, clean aquarium, good for the turtle, good for the fish, yeah, granted. But if I don't manage to do those two things, not going to be the end of the world. Alright, so that's simple. Well, let's go for important things. My kid has to go to school. Well, you know what? He's old enough now. He takes the bus on his own. That's not an issue. Oh, well, he needs a lunch tomorrow. Oh, shit, we don't have anything for his lunch. Well, why am I worrying about that? All I need to do is go online, grab that meal card, and there you go. He has a meal now. So I prioritize all my day. And then after that, what do I have to do? Nothing much. I gotta make sure that, the house is in decent order. I gotta do a bit of laundry, all small stuff. And then in the evening, I want to have one of these conversations again. Oh no. Now I gotta plan for that. Now that's a bigger thing. But at the end of the day, if I don't have anything to talk about, well, we can just concentrate on the 3D printer itself. Which, by the way, while you guys, if you have anything else to comment, just feel free to share in the chat there. I'll be looking at the 3D printer for a few minutes. We'll readjust and start it again. Alright, I'll switch it back to this camera for now. Alright, so apparently my hairspray bottle is completely empty, so I'm just going to open up a new one and try it again. See if that's the issue, and I'll keep an eye on it a bit more this time around, and we'll try that out. So now it's full. Let's try it out a little bit till it gets sticky. Yeah, maybe using my hand is not the best thing for this. So right now, just to go back to, since I had a question about what I'm trying to print off here. Oh, wrong screen, my bad. So what I'm trying to print is this little cube here. This is a test cube. Okay, so it's 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters. Right? So this is to test all my axes. So when I take my caliper after that, oops, sorry, I moved it out of frame. I'll just show you what I have to do to test it out properly once it prints. I need to take a caliper like this. I could use any type of caliper. I just really enjoy this one here. Zero it out. And put it as close as possible to 20. So 19.97. If I turn it around to the other side, see, same size. And then if I do this side, same. And now for the last one, see, there's a slight difference, 19.99. But this, to me, is acceptable for what I plan to do. But since I recalibrated that whole printer, I reformatted the whole thing. So I reprogrammed the thing, and this is the first cube that came out of it. Not at all the right size. So this way, not too bad. I'm sorry it's in reverse there. I'll try to turn it around. There you go. This might be easier for everybody else to watch. There you go. So this is not too bad. If I turn it to the side, see, I could work on that side a little bit, and then we go on the Z height. And yeah, we're completely off, right? It's supposed to be 20. Never sweat the small stuff. That was not easy in my earlier years. Yeah, I agree with you. Like, as I get older, the small stuff is what I care less about, right? But like right now, this printer is one of the things that I do to calm myself down. So I'm just trying to get the basic calibration down, so when I do something I want, it would be the scale that I want. Exactly. And this is a good example here if I show this. So I play this video game that I really love called Elite Dangerous, and this is one of the spaceships inside of that game. So you can see this is the level of details that I want to get back to. Maybe even improve on that if possible. Right? I love video games. I love to be able to print the stuff that I have in the video games, my characters and all that. It's not perfect, so I could improve on the quality, but it's not that bad either. I'd like to get back to at least this. So now by doing that in front of everybody, we can see it. Hey, this is how we program a printer, and well, we can have discussions that might be important or might help somebody at the same time. And later on, the more the more we do these, the more you join me on this, I'll print up stuff for you guys as well. If we have enough people, I'll start printing stuff, and I don't even mind sending them to people. These prints could go on for hours and days, and if I have enough support, I'll print something big and send it to somebody. I want to do these sorts of things. Why? Because I have the opportunity to do so, but I need to have enough people follow me. If not, I'm just going to print the stuff that I like, and too bad, I enjoy printing stuff, so I'll be happy with that too. But the main reason I want to do this, and yes, really, I want to do these sorts of things, but what I want is to be able to help people with struggles that they're having in life, if I can. I might not be the right person for all this stuff, but tell your friends, your family to join us on this. And like I always say, if you're afraid that somebody's going to recognize you and you have something that you're not sure how to share or bring up, create yourself a secondary account that's just like, anonymous. Twitch even has their anonymous, what do you call that? Anonymous accounts. So for those that don't know, you guys want me to link that in case, actually I'll just link it anyways. Twitch. Let me see if I can find it. No, that's it. Can I go? I'll have to find that again. I can't find it anywhere. But there is it was something like J whatever numbers you wanted, and the password was a bunch of numbers as well. That way you could share stuff that you want to stay anonymous for. This channel is not about judging anybody, and it's not about making fun of people or stuff like that. I want to have open and honest conversations about pretty much anything. And if somebody wants to just have a discussion about, I don't know, something that's bugging them in the real world, and I'm not saying that this is a real world, but I don't know, this somebody wants to talk about the new abortion ban in Texas. What my views on this is, what somebody else's views on it is. We can have discussions like these that are not necessarily about insulting people. It's hearing the other side. Maybe you completely disagree with the other side, but you can still listen and talk to people that have a different point of view on things. And I believe that that's how we're going to move forward as a whole society. And it always brings back to my first topic here, and I don't want to keep repeating that my first topic is the most important thing, but managing expectations. So I don't expect anybody to start opening up fully here right now and just start giving me their deepest secrets that they're afraid of. No. What I want is just to have a new area where we can talk and just have a human discussion without any fear of repercussions or anything like that. And that's why I'm opening up to YouTube, Twitch, and maybe Facebook at one point. Even though I'm not a fan of Facebook, I'm willing to open this up to a giant community if we can. And that way we can have important discussions. We don't talk about enough things. I know I was raised with, don't talk about how much money you make. Well, why not? I think it's important. Can't put pictures here on Twitch, can we? No, but if you do have a place you want to put a picture, you can set it up on any image and just link it in the channel. I'll go take a look at it, and then I can put it on the stream if you want to. But yeah, as I was saying, we can't talk about money apparently. Well, I don't agree with that because it's important that we talk about. If myself and somebody else are doing the same exact job, at the same exact rank, at the same exact everything, time in and all that, and he gets paid more or she gets paid more, well, I want to know what's going on. Also, don't talk about religion. Oh, why not? I want to understand the other religions. If I'm not allowed to talk about it, how am I going to understand them? I'm going through a spiritual journey myself, but I need to understand it. If I can't talk about it, how am I going to understand it? Or how am I going to understand somebody else's point of view? Even though my spiritual beliefs are different, I can't just say, no, F you, I don't like you because you're not like me. That's not how the world works. There's many different spiritualities and religions. We need to be able to talk about these things. And politics, that's another big one. Oh, you're left, you're right. You're this, you're that. I hate you, I hate that. Well, we need to be able to bring those two sides back together and have proper human connection and understanding. Right now, if you're against this, you're left. If you're for that, you're right. And both are snowflakes, and everybody's insulting each other and beating each other up. And I don't believe in that. I'm not afraid of violence. Like, I'm an infantry officer. Of course, I'm willing to go fight for things. But violence for no reason because you don't agree with somebody? That sounds wrong to me. Right? So I want to have these discussions in an adult way. There you go, Muin, right there. Expectations, like we were talking about. Perfect. I love hearing those stories. I'm wishing you all the help with that. But he's saying that right now, fixing a new streaming room and expectations on fixing was high on doing on my own and never done anything like it before. And that's the thing. When I first started thinking about this, I was like, oh, I'll be able to do this and that and this and that, and it's going to be huge. No, this room here is not even 6 feet. Like, it's not a room even. It's just a corner of my basement. And it doesn't look like much. But does it need to be more than that? No, because I need to manage my expectations of, well, the looks are one thing, but are they really the most important thing? Or what I want to achieve? No, what I want to achieve is having discussions with people. And that's how I keep my expectations low. Over time, things are changing. I had one camera to start with. I had not even this one. Let me check this. I don't even remember which oh yeah, probably the easiest camera of all. Nope, not that one. I have this camera to start with. This little small camera out there, that's my laptop's camera. That's all I had. And then I looked around and I'm like, oh, well, wait a second. I have this camera. So I can use that. And it has a better microphone than most of my stuff. And my wife said, well, if you want to try it, we can get this camera. So that way, it's small investments about what I want to do. And now I just added this one. This one was a free camera. And by the way, it's printing now. But that's the thing, managing your expectations, expecting to get everything right away is not how you got to think about expecting them one day. That's a dream. And look at the name of my channel, Dreaming Life. Dream of something. It's important. It's extremely important to dream. Have your dreams. Work towards them. Do it. But don't expect them tomorrow. Some of the dreams are easy. Oh, I wish I had I wish I had one of those stream decks. That would be so helpful to do a channel like this. I can't afford one right now. I have stuff to pay. I have bills. I have food. I have a car. I need to fix my car. I need to spend money elsewhere. So One day I want to have a cleaner corner. And yes, it is my corner. And I can improve it over time. So, does it mean my channel is going to be highly successful? Maybe not. But I don't expect it to be the most successful channel on YouTube and Twitch and whatever. All I expect is that maybe I'll get some people here and we can have discussions that can help me as well. It's not just I want to help people here and there and not think about myself. It's about helping everybody, including myself. So, my expectations at first, yeah, huge. But if you look at it, right now, they're only this. I just want to be able to talk with people a little bit. And this is what I'm doing right now. And if you look, like that, just the transition that I worked on here, like I made that whole transition myself. It's simple, but I worked on it myself. And now I have 4 cameras going. So managing my expectations, what did that do? I actually got more out of it than if I would have went like, oh, I want everything right away, spend a few $1,000s and get the nicest things, 4K cameras everywhere, but then no food, no gas, maybe no electricity. Well, now I can't do anything anymore, right? And that's why managing my expectations is a big thing that I wanted to talk about tonight. Because if we concentrate too much on the dream itself, that is sometimes far. Well, you're going to miss out on what's happening now. What is happening now in front of you? Right? Yeah, okay. I'm there. We're talking about stuff like this, yes. But what I mean by that is, what are your plans? Right now I have somebody here saying that, they're working on a streaming room. Perfect. That's what is now. You're working on that. But what can you achieve towards that tomorrow? Because right now I'm guessing that you're going to take a break for the night and all that, which is perfectly fine. You need to take care of yourself. Sleeping is important. But what can you do about it tomorrow? Well, you have a setup in your head. But you can do a small portion of it tomorrow. Maybe it's just moving this piece from there to there. That's all you can do. That's all you have the time for. You still did something. Or maybe it's just, I got to rethink the whole setup. So I'm going to make a quick drawing tomorrow about how I want it set up. Perfect. You work towards something. It's not about accomplishing the best thing right away. You're not getting paid to do this stuff financially. You're getting paid by yourself into the pride you get, right? With the pride you get. And that's equally as important as everything else. Because if you're not proud of what you do, you're not going to succeed, right? You got to have pride in what you do. You got to believe that, my dream, I'm going to accomplish it one day. So manage your expectations as to why. And that's why there's a lot of questions when you get a job somewhere where do you see yourself like next week? So a goal that's close. Well, next week I see myself employed here working at the desk, like doing this type of work. Where do you see in a year from now? Well, a year from now I'll see myself as one of the people training the new arrivals that come to this job, because I'll have gained enough experience in order to be able to train others. Where do you see yourself in 10 years? In 10 years, I see myself sitting at your desk being able to employ people and doing the job that you're doing right now, sir, ma'am, whatever. Right? Goal setting. Managing your expectations, goal setting, and dreaming. Those 3 things, 1, 2, 3, extremely important. Do these things. Carry on with these things, because that's how you're going to move forward. If you just go with, I gotta go to work, don't feel like it. Well, maybe you don't like your job. Okay? So, if you don't like your job, why are you there? Because that's what's available now? Fair enough. I understand that. I completely understand. But you can work towards something else, whether it's education of some sort, whether it's just applying for the jobs. You can always work on yourself, and working on yourself is free. If you think about it in the long run, what can you do to improve yourself? And that all fits into the whole thing about managing your expectations. Know who you are, know your limits, and work towards that goal that you have. And then after you start getting these things working in your mind, stop getting people to expect you to do everything for them. As an example, I'm good at working with cars. I used to say yes to everything, and I felt bad if I had to say no. Look, why? My time, my life, my body. If my body hurts, why am I saying yes to something that might hurt me more? Right? Does that make sense to everybody? Hopefully it does. I'll switch back to the printer there just to show you. It is working well. You can see it a little bit. Like, I can see that we have more people on tonight, and I'm very, very proud and happy of myself because I worked on something and I achieved it. And now, just to add to all of that, we got the printer that's starting to look really, really good. I'm looking at it closer. Sadly, the quality of the camera that I have set up there is not the best. Maybe one day I'll be able to get a new one, get it closer with less movements and stuff like that. Maybe I could figure out or tinker something so that you'd see better. But for now, it works. Right? So my plan to do things is actually come along faster than I expected, but I'm not going to get that inflated ego and say, oh, this is awesome. I have X amount of people on stream right now watching me. I have this going on, that going on. I just started streaming. So I'm going to keep my expectations down. That, I still got to go slow with these things. And I do hope that I'll get more people joining and that people will say, hey, every night from 9 to 10, this random dude that taught me basic, or this random guy that I met at the shopping center, whatever, because I talk to everybody. Is streaming and he's talking about something that, might be able to help you or you might just be interested in. So my expectation is that one day people will just join the stream. But here's the thing. One day. I'm not expecting that tomorrow. Right? So does everybody still follow me on managing expectations? I'd like to hear somebody's thoughts on these things, and if you have anything you'd like to add or say that maybe something I've said doesn't work for you, and we could discuss that. I would like to hear about you. It's never going to be forced on anybody, but please make your voices heard. This discussing things is actually important. And I forgot that myself for a while. Alright, so like I said, nobody has to. I'm not going to force anybody to talk about anything, but I just want to get on my Twitch channel here for a second and just show you. If you go down here, there's a question bank here that you can ask a new question. If there's just a subject you want to talk about and it's not a discussion per se, you can add it there. I'll accept that. And we can talk about pretty much anything. Right now, there's just a comment how I've been lately. I'll be honest with you. I've been on vacation now for going on 3.5 weeks, and I've been doing great. I went to Cape Breton, saw my sister, talked with her, and she's actually one of the people that helped me want to start this, because she streams every morning, and she has this hundreds and even a few, I think there was at one point 1,000 or 1,300 people watching her stream, and I jumped in the stream with her, and we were just talking. The way she talks about her life and her things, completely different than how I want to approach it. But it made me realize that if she has something that she can share with people that is helping them, I'm pretty sure I can bring something to the table as well. I do have a lot of skills that I've gained over the years from either the military or just living off the streets or living my life, right? So if I can help at least one person, why not? And later on, if I find that just these discussions are not enough for somebody, or somebody just wants to hang out one day, and why not? I have a whole setup. I can just have either bring somebody in, we'll talk. Well, sure, some rum, not sponsored by the way. I'll be glad to do it. Or if somebody just wants an evening of gaming, maybe we could do that at one point. Just an evening of, hey, let's whole community, let's go play a game of whatever. Could be Cards Against Humanity. If there's a free app online that we can all play as a huge group. There's video games of all sorts. Most people that I know do like video games. Some people don't. We can find something to do. But I do want to stream and get connected with the world as much as possible. Right now, yeah, the group that I have is a lot smaller. It's more about the people that I know. But I'll share my life, where I'm at, and one thing I won't do is lie to anybody. If my day's been going terrible, I'll share it. And that way we can have these discussions about what can we do when days like that happen. And I'll be candid with everybody. I have an anger issue. I get frustrated and mad extremely easily. And I need to work on that. And I think that talking with people about things like that may be a good thing. Right? If I struggle with anger, and that's a big thing that I struggle with, and those that I've worked with or have been on courses under my command might have seen me get mad once in a while, and sometimes it was for the smallest things, but I was legitimately mad because I have anger issues. I'm trying to work on them, and I've been working hard on them. I need to bring that to all aspects of my life, right? And this is what I want to achieve. Just to go back to the printer for a bit, you can see we're about 50% done. Usually I'd stay for these chats for just about an hour, but since we struggled a lot with the printer this evening, I'm willing to leave it open for now and just have discussions. I need people to talk with me, though. That's going to help me a lot in my subject. If somebody has more questions about it, like, don't be afraid to ask those questions. While you guys are writing something, I'm just going to go look through the list there and make sure that no bots are there, because Twitch has a lot of hate bots. And I'm just going to make sure that nothing is bad in there, if that makes any sense. It would help if I understood everything. I kind of went the wrong way with all this and just decided to start streaming without understanding everything. But that's not the end of the world. We're all here to have fun and talk and learn about new things. So I'll make mistakes. Hopefully you'll still follow me after these. I don't even know where to go to look at people. That kind of sounded wrong. I apologize for that. That's not what I meant. I'm just looking how to... Oh, never mind. I figured it out. So we live 5 minutes from each other. You ever want to meet, have a drink, and chat? Text me, man. Yeah, actually, man, we should do that more often. That's something that I know I have to work on a lot myself. Is that I struggle with connecting with people after a while. If I don't see you, I struggle with connecting, and it's not. I don't want to talk to people at all. It's the complete opposite. But I just discovered something not too long ago, that people with ADHD apparently have this thing that's similar to object permanence, but it applies to everything. So please don't feel insulted if I don't call, text, or talk to you on whatever. Um, Apparently, that people with ADHD sometimes just their brain doesn't process that something or someone still exists. So that happens to my tools that I have around me. If I don't physically see them, they don't exist. For people, sadly, it's the same way. It's not that they don't exist, because I'll still remember everybody, and I can look at who's in chat right now, and if I know who you are according to my the chat there, either because you said who your names are or we talked a little bit, yeah, I'll recognize you, and right away I know exactly who you are. Once this shuts down, I'm gonna go take a shower, go to bed not too later after that. Tomorrow morning, my first thought is not going to be, oh, I need to call this person, that person, and I apologize for that. I don't mean that in an offensive way. I mean that this thing here does not work well. It has issues, and that's why I'm doing these things. So yes, I do want to hang out. I do want to talk, and I know that you were working on a big project for something a while back that we talked a few times about. I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say about it or not. But I'd like to hear more about it. Is it still going on? Is it stopped? What's going on with that? There's stuff with that I do want to talk. And you, and yes, if you were closer, I would hang out with you as well. I don't know what kind of shenanigans you'd want to do, but you seem like you're preparing a stream channel, so I'd probably get along great doing streams and stuff like that with you. Or just gaming, right? Everybody that's in chat right now, like, if I've added you on Facebook, that means I'm willing to talk to you. If you're not on my Facebook, don't take it personally. It's like I keep a very closed group of people on my Facebook. And if you're on there, that means that I've had a certain connection with you. Maybe not on a personal level, but I like the type of person you are. So it's not about being offensive, but it's, Facebook is Facebook. Oh, okay, yeah, I just saw that. I can't say anything about that here. That's perfectly fine. That's why I wasn't too specific on the things that I said, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. And, yeah, if we can talk about stuff like that, I'd love to at one point. Whatever you can share with me or not share, I'll be fine with it. Whether it's not here or not somewhere else, that's perfectly fine. Like, I'm not here to disrupt anything either. And yes, Mew, and you did make the cut for Facebook. There's actually, I think almost everybody on chat tonight is, at least on Twitch chat, is on my Facebook. Maybe not, but if you're here and on Facebook, good for you. But please keep in contact with me. Like I said, my brain will not process the information that I need to contact people to stay in contact with them. I know it's stupid, for lack of a better term, but that's how my brain works. So do not be afraid of calling me, texting me, whatever it is for. Like, I have a channel here that's made to help people and help myself. So why would I not want to do that with you on a one-on-one basis? And Sky Guy, sending you a picture from a guy I know. He's making a T1000 with his 3D printer. Yes, I do want to see that. Where are you sending that to me? After that, I'll just show you a few of the things that I've been working on myself. Why I need to readjust it to finish that. But yeah, no, it's good. Just as an example, I'm working on my Iron Man suit. Right? It doesn't fit my head though. That's the issue. So I need to. Yeah, Messenger works perfectly fine. So my Iron Man doesn't work because I need to reprint it. I got this mask here. That's my go-to mask for easy stuff. Sadly, my jaw doesn't fit well, but it opens and closes. I got the Plague Doctor mask. I need to finish sanding it and making it look nice and leathery. Then I got my son's Wendigo costume. I broke an antler, but yeah, this is 3D printed. I did the whole thing myself. I made it look old and did the paint and everything. I don't know if you can see the grime and all that I put in there. So I did put a lot of time and effort into this, and I want to make sure that it works well for next time. But I also have other projects. This is another spaceship that I was working on. Just give me a second here. I'll switch the camera. So this is half of it, just to show you in comparison. I want to do this, finish this spaceship, but I also have these little platforms here that I'm making for a friend of mine that he asked me for these a while back, and when I was working I had zero time to work on it. So now I'm going to use the stream here to work on these things while I'm talking with people. So why not combine it? So that way we can learn about 3D printing a bit more. And if anybody has questions at any point about anything, like you want to see what 3D printing and programming a 3D printer is like, yeah, I have this right here. We can go through everything that you need if you're not sure about something. Or we can just have a regular discussion about whatever you want, right? Let's see. Oh, am I allowed to put that on the stream? I'm just asking Skyguard there. It is there, yes, and I kind of want to show it. That looks amazing. But for real, can I put that on my stream or? No, I get that he's not finished. That seems like a lot of work. I'm just gonna show. Yeah, go ahead. I'm just gonna show it from my phone. Where you don't need to see my banking info, right? Well, that's not my banking info. Those are just my cards. Open the picture, and there you go. See, somebody's making this with a 3D printer. Right? That looks pretty sick. I kind of want to do something like that as well at one point, and that's why I'm working on the Iron Man suit, just to give you an idea. Like, I have a bunch of other parts for the Iron Man suit here. I don't even know. This is the neck part, so this and that. Right, so I think that goes somewhere like around here, or maybe it's the other way around. I know, I have to look at it again. Too close? See if I can add it on somewhere myself. Well, maybe if I just use my computer, that could work, eh? Picture. I was on my phone. I did not see the controller. Let me go on Facebook here. That I have you on there for Messenger. Put these away. Just had that conversation. It shouldn't be that far away. There you go. Open up that thing. Image. So I don't need to show anything I don't need to. No offense to anybody on that. It will be automated. That T1000's got to be automated. That's freaking sick. I kind of want to see that. That's your actual size. Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Good. I'll just go this way, and all I need to do is change scene to this. And there you go. That's a T1000. Where's that controller you're talking about? Oh, that controller down there. Okay, that's really sick. You can see the details that he's working on, the small things. Yeah. Honestly, I gotta say I love it. This looks amazing, and of course I want to do something with that. The Iron Man suit that I want to build is I want to build the whole thing, wear it to a Comic-Con or something, and sell it. and then build another one, maybe War Machine or I don't know, Captain America. I couldn't print the shield, but I kind of want the bigger costumes, not because they're worth more, just because they're more fun. But from the Iron Man costume there, I was reading about the guy that fully printed one of them. It took him 6 months just to print, because there's a long delay and only one printer at a time does add not complications, but adds a lot of work to be done. And like just the faceplate of the mask here, just this part here that cuts off there on the side, the top, those lines there, just this part. That took, if I recall correctly, like 18 hours or something like that. So think about if every piece that is slightly that size is 18 to 20 hours, and there's 600 parts. That's a lot of time printing, right? That's why I want to have a printer that is nice and properly calibrated. Just to give you another example as to why it's important, I don't know if you can see, yeah, you can see the texture of it, right? You go in underneath, you can see it's not very nice. That was badly calibrated. And then this one here, yeah, I sanded it a bit, but the inside I really didn't touch it that much. And this is the quality that I used to have. So I need to recalibrate the whole thing, and that's why I reprogrammed the whole thing. Make sense? A new cube looks like it will be very close. Yes, it does. It does. If we go back to the camera, we can see it's a lot better. Just for fun here, I'm going to use the red cube. That's the one that I use for just to show you guys, and just put it right next to it. That does look a lot better, right? I don't want it to get too close because I don't want anything to move it around, but hey, we're a lot closer. So, going back to managing expectations. I never said we are making this happen. We are going to try to make it happen, right? And guess what? It's working. But really, that T1000, wow. I do want to get to that point for sure. And yes, temperature in 3D printing, extremely, extremely important. I could probably find more stuff that I 3D printed here and there because I've had this thing for 3 years now, and I use it for a lot of different things. Whether it's printing those spaceships, right? I always have this one here on my desk, this tiny little spaceship. Why? Because why not? I like spaceships. I like space. I like video games. I mix those two together. I'm happy. My son has a bunch of them in his room. I printed tools. I printed all sorts of little knickknacks here and there so that, I can have fun with the printer. Yeah, so the printer is working a lot better. But there's still settings that I need to apply because what I'm seeing right now from the 3D printer is that my extrusion is not perfect. I'll try to move the camera just to show you. You see that blob on the extruder itself? There should not be any blobs there. It should just be the extruder itself. So that means more adjustments will be needed. One thing at a time. You can't expect everything to work perfectly the first time. And this guy is saying there, he has a drone that is fully 3D printed. And yes, that's the advantage of having a 3D printer and 3D printing things. That something breaks, you can just reprint it. Or it was made to be cheaper. So, I own this. I built it from nothing almost. I bought a Anet A8, which used to be one of the cheapest printers you could buy, and then fully modified it. You don't want to see the wiring on this thing. It looks terrible. I still need to make the wiring work and look nice. But until I get it working properly, no use doing that because I might need to change wires and stuff like that. I'm sorry if I just went quiet there. I think somebody's trying to send me a virus or something. That's always funny. Yeah, my print bed is a heated bed, so that's another part that I just added recently. I just threw out my old one because it wasn't heating up. This one can actually go to about 200 degrees, just the bed itself, and the printer, the head itself, or the heat block, that can go to almost 300. So I could print metal off of this 3D printer now. Oh yeah, somebody's trying to send me vox.fyi. I don't know what those things are. Nope, those are just yay virus people. Perfect. It's gonna happen, right? As soon as you go online, you're always open to have people trying to dox you or stuff like that, and that's the risk that I'm willing to take. But I do know a lot about computers, so I'm not saying please come and dox me because you will be able to. I sleep and I work and stuff like that. I don't have 24 hours a day to spend on this thing, but you know, there's always going to be people trying to get something out of me. Well, they can try. I probably feel sorry for me and send me their scams anyways. Uh, but yeah, so we did a lot of progress today. Like we talked about things that are important. I had a bit of discussion going on, which is amazing. I'd like to see more and more discussions going on in the chat. And we got the cube getting a lot closer to where it should be. It's almost done now. I can see that there's a few issues still that needs to be handled. But why worry about these things, right? One small thing at a time. We're almost done, and the print just got ruined. I'll show you why in a second here. If we switch the camera, look at the blob on top that was there is now on top of the cube. I don't think I'll be able to salvage it 100%, but this was a demo, a test, and yeah, it didn't go all the way to where we didn't go all the way where we wanted it, but we did move forward, right? It's all about moving forward. And Skyguard, you're saying we went off track. Think about it though. Did we really? We went from talking about 3D printers to moving to managing expectations back to 3D printing, and I can bring that right back to managing expectations. That's a cube. I could want it to be perfect from the first try. I could want that, yes. But we had no expectations. Right? All we had was, hey, we're going to get together on Twitch. We're going to try to print a test cube, see how that goes. We're going to show a few things about coding. If you were here at the start, you might have seen that. If not, you can go back and check. I didn't talk a whole lot about it because those are numbers and letters that a lot of people may not understand or may not have interest in. And we went with it. We had conversations, and that's what's important. Having a connection with people, talking with people about different things. And yes, I put a title about managing expectations. But that's the whole thing. If we're having conversations, and a good conversation is not only about staying on one subject, because there's nothing that's so straight in life. Everything has ups and downs and lefts and rights. So if we just keep focusing on one thing, how much stuff are we missing? And that's a big thing that I had to work on myself, where I'm going to focus right there. That's all I'm focusing on. Well, if I do that, imagine I talk like this to you the whole time. How bored would you be? Right? So, we have to have conversations that they go left, they go right, they go up, they go down. So that's the thing, right? It's actually important that we do things like that. and that our conversations move around. I want to have these types of conversations. I want to have discussions like these. So I'm going to say it again to everybody that's here and listening right now, or even if you're not and you're listening later. Every night from 9 to 10, I'll be here. If I can't, I'll leave a message on both YouTube and Twitch, possibly even Facebook, saying that, well, I can't be in tonight. But for right now, from 9 to 10, and see, it's 10:15, so it can go a bit further. Join us. Invite some people over. Whether it's your great aunt Linda that hates vaccines and thinks that cats are the best pets ever, and that Trump is whatever, I don't care. I want to get everybody on here and have civil discussions. And that's the thing. Somebody's not civil, they're gone. It's not about insulting anybody. It's understanding point of views and bringing people closer. So do bring your friends, do bring your families and colleagues, and join us on stream every night from 9 to 10. And one thing that I will do every night, since this is almost done there, I'll let it finish, and I'll just keep talking for a little bit. But it's about feeling comfortable at home. Because I know I struggled a lot in the past year or two, and I wasn't comfortable with myself. I'd lie to myself about a lot of things. Oh, you're just pretending, or you're not really injured, or oh, this person doesn't like you. And at the end of the day, all these things were either lies I was telling myself, or that I was just expecting too much for something that wasn't a thing. So this is why I want to have these types of conversations and have a lot of people to talk with, to create a community where we can see the good in people. We can understand why somebody has a different point of view. Because if you think about everything that's going on in the world, a bad guy doesn't exist. Now, that sounds wrong from a lot of people's point of view. But what is a bad guy? It's somebody that thinks they're doing the best thing they can for the people they love. Or sometimes it's just for them. But pure evil, does it really exist? That's another subject we'll have to talk about at a later time, because I'm not jumping into that tonight. That's a huge thing, and we need a lot of people to talk about things like that, right? Those are deep subjects, and whether you're 80 years old or 10 years old, it's important that we have these discussions at every age so that we understand each other. And like Sagar said, he knew that I had things I wanted to do and go along with my career, and it was unfortunate that it did not go that way. And I agree. It saddens me every day where, I was supposed to be this officer in the infantry, doing this, doing that, having big dreams about doing these things. And with the physical injury I had, it's not going to happen. Is that the end of my life? No, it's not. There's still a lot I can do. Is that hard for me to understand and to go through? Yes, that's something I struggle with every day. Every single day since I hurt myself, I struggle with it. But look at where I am today. I'm still here talking to people, trying to motivate people, trying to see the positive in everything, right? So I want to give that to people. See, Skygar, they're saying that I wanted to make it to chief. It did not happen, but man, I don't regret any of my 37 years. See, that's the thing. I don't regret anything. Sometimes I do wish I could go back and change those tiny, tiny things, but it's so minute that I don't know what difference it would have made. Because at the end of the day, whatever happened, happened. And I don't get stuck in the, oh, what if I didn't do that? And I used to do that a lot. After my injury, my right leg couldn't work anymore for a while. And during that time, oh, that was hard. Oh, if I only would have taken that one step differently. Or if only I would have taken my time, I'd be okay today. Yeah, true. But with that mentality, I probably wouldn't be here today. And I want to bring that positive mentality to everybody that's here. If you're here joining us on these discussions, like whether you're just listening or talking, hopefully it can be helpful for you. So I'm not here to fix anybody because I don't know if I can. But if I can help somebody, that's a big, big thing. And it's not just about me helping somebody else, it's about all of you guys maybe being able to help somebody else. Because the way I see it is, if one person helps another person, and that person helps another person, and it keeps going. Right? There's this thing where apparently everybody is 7 or 8 people close to anybody in the world. Well, imagine that after 7 people, so you help one person, that helps another one, that helps another one, that helps another one, that helps another one. But they all help somebody different after that. Right? So that one person you help now turns into 2, turns into 7, turns into 14, turns into a few hundred people. That's all we got to do. Maybe I'll swear sometimes, maybe I'll get mad sometimes, but if I can help one person, I've done something good in my life. And that's what we got to strive for. Right? Does that make sense to everybody? So Skyguard here on Twitch is saying that stay positive, know you can talk and count on when needed, and use all the help available. It helps a lot, man. That's the hardest thing, and don't be ashamed. And yes, I agree. It took me years to be able to understand. I'm 34 now, well, turning 34 actually in a month. Wait a second. No, in like 11 days. But I'll be 34, and I just understood that 6 months ago. That's how long it took me. And I'm not perfect at it. Young fella. Yeah, I don't feel so young sometimes with the back that I have. But you know what? At the end of the day, I got my family, I got you guys, and I got my dog. I'm gonna be happy. I can choose to be happy. I can choose to be miserable easily, but I'm gonna choose to be happy, and I hope you do the same. And the cube's about done. Look at that! Look at that! I lost my red cube though. I don't know where it went. Oh, just found it. All the way up back. I think that's the last pass for it to go, so let's give it a few seconds. We'll pop it off, and then we'll look at it, measure it, and everything, and see what we got tonight. I can see that it's not perfect. I can see a few mistakes here and there, but I noticed that my extruder is extruding too much material. So that gives me a good tip with that blob on the side there. That tells me exactly, well, too much material is coming out. Perfect. Done. Pop it off. So, I'll move the camera to this. So that's a reference block, right? So our nice red block. That was our first attempt. I might as well put them all on X. I'll center these pieces. That was our attempt yesterday. We can see that it improved. Now this new one here, we can see that there's this blob here that should not be there, so I'll cut that off. Because sometimes small mistakes like that can be removed easily. So snip it off. Yeah, drop the snippers, I guess. And we can see that, it's not perfect. I could sand this down, make it look better and all that. But that's the whole purpose of this thing, is to test, right? So if we bring it down here, well, it's a lot closer. I just read your comment there, Skyguard. Felt great when you got out, but I can tell you that about 6 months later, I didn't. I felt useless, no purpose anymore, but I am fantastic now, loving and enjoying retirement. Man, I'm so happy to hear that. I was thinking about you the other day, wondering how you were doing and stuff like that. Like I said, I'm just terrible at following suit with people and stuff like that. But I'm so happy that you're doing well, and we do need to get together soon and talk and just enjoy a drink or something, right? And my wife there, like Bob Ross, there's just a happy mistake on the cube there. Yes, she's on YouTube, by the way, because I am streaming on both platforms at the same time. Oh, I gotta flip this around so you guys can see. So we can see, like, 2034. It should be 20, but for 0.34, I can live with that. See, on this axis, same thing. No, it's 2035, a little bit bigger. Now my z-axis is where I'm struggling a bit more, it seems, because we're at 2265. So that means I move up a little bit too fast. But yes, it's a lot cleaner than what it was. If we compare to the first one, just X on X for fun, way better, way better. Just yesterday, well, yesterday seemed a little bit cleaner. Well, actually, no, they're about the same. Alright, so cleanliness is an issue. But at the end of the day, an improvement is an improvement. We got to take the wins that we have, whether they're small or huge. A win is a win. Take every one you can. And mistakes don't need to be a big thing. Mistakes are meant to be learning opportunities. So, just with 3D printing, apply that knowledge that these things, you can apply that to your life as well. If you make a mistake, it's not the end of the world. There's always a way to correct it. So I'm already half an hour overdue for my time, but like I said, it's not about the time we take. What I want to do every stream is, I want to help people find that relaxing moment in their life. And this is something that I took from this guy called Dreadful Bird. He has a few TED Talks, he's on TikTok, and all sorts of things like that. And it's just about taking 2 minutes of your life, and let's do that now. Okay, just relax your whole body, relax your shoulders, let them fall loose. Drop the tongue from the roof of your mouth. Drop your eyebrows. Relax every muscle that you have. If you can sit down, it works a lot better than standing up. Just take that 2 minutes and look around you real quick. Find something that you're grateful for. It can be anything, right? It can be that you have this comfortable sofa to sit on, or it could be you're grateful that you're able to have a drink tonight. You could be grateful for somebody. You could be grateful for nature. Be grateful for something. And I think if we all start doing things like that, just taking that 2 minutes of our lives where we know nothing will happen, we're safe, and we can just relax and be grateful for something, it's a big thing. So for me, I'm very grateful for everybody that joined me tonight, and for the conversations that we've had, and the reconnection that I had with Skyguard there, because it had been a while since we last talked. At least 2 years, 3 years if not. And that's too long. So with that, I wish everybody a very good night, and please join me back again tomorrow or whenever you have time. I'll be on from 9 to 10 at least. And whether it's YouTube or Twitch, join me. Alright? Have a good night, everybody.